for all of us. I thank you. I now give the floor to the distinguished representative of Italy to introduce draft resolution A/80/L10.
Madame President, dear delegates, I'm deeply honored to stand in front of you today alongside the IOC's new President, Kirsty Coventry, to introduce on behalf of Italy the draft resolution Building a Peaceful and Better World Through Sport and the Olympic Ideal. At a time of growing discord and conflict, sport and the Olympic Games can provide a beacon of hope, an alternative to rivalry and division. Yes, the Olympic Games are founded on competition and the pursuit of excellence. But throughout their history, they have demonstrated something even more powerful, a sense of humanity which transcends even the greatest of athletic achievements. At the Olympic Games in Innsbruck in 1964, the Italian bobsledder Eugenio Monti wrote his name into sporting history with an act of sportsmanship for which he became better known than his 6 Olympic medals. Twice, he was forced to settle for bronze when Italy might have won gold. First, by loaning the triumphant British 2-man team a bolt for their broken sled, and then by offering a mechanical support to the Canadians who became champions in the 4-man event. He went on to win 2 gold medals at the Grenoble Olympic Games in '68 and many World Championship titles. But he also became the first recipient of the Baron Pierre de Coubertin World Trophy in recognition of his remarkable display of selflessness. Monti's actions more than 60 years ago are a shining example of sports power to rise above rivalry and national boundaries. Of course, he was a winner. Of course, he wanted to win. But for him, the core Olympic values of excellence, friendship and respect mattered more than coming first. These values, embedded in the Olympic Charter, are one of the reasons why the Olympic Games are still able to show the world that there is an alternative to conflict. I personally witnessed the extraordinary power of the Games in Pyeongchang in 2018 when, in Casa Italia, we hosted Taekwondo athletes from the DPKR and the Republic of Korea. This is what the Olympic Charter stands for. Athletes from all over the world coming together in friendship and united by the power of sport. The draft resolution before you today notes the role of sport in inspiring individuals and communities to uphold these core values. It also acknowledges that the Olympic and Paralympic Games of Milano Cortina 2026 will be a unifying event to harness the power of sport. As President of the Organizing Committee for the Milano Cortina Winter Olympic and Paralympic Games 2026, I know we have a unique occasion and opportunity to promote the Olympic truce and build an atmosphere of peace. For the first time in 2 decades, the Olympic and Paralympic Games will return to Italian soil in February and March next year. The circumstances in which we were awarded the Games in June 2019 were very, very different to the ones in which we'll stage them, after a global pandemic and because of new conflicts. It's my sincere hope that lo spirito italiano, the new and vibrant Italian spirit, which is at the center of our vision and mission, may conquer hearts and minds and inspire change. It is also my hope that the incredible athletic achievements we will witness next year, carved in the icy beauty of the Italian Alps, will inspire the whole world. Around 3,000 athletes from 91 countries will compete in the Olympic Games in 116 events, including a first ski mountaineering. 70 years after the Italian skier Giuliana Scenal Minuzzo became the first woman in Olympic history to recite the Olympic oath at the Cortina Winter Games in 1956, Milano Cortina will be the most gender-balanced Winter Games in history. Meanwhile, next year's Paralympic Games will mark the winter edition's 50th anniversary with more than 660 athletes from 79 countries taking part in 6 sports. For half a century, the Paralympic Winter Games has broken down barriers and promoted inclusion in society. For Italy, the Games will deliver more than 300 legacy projects, improving accessibility for people with disabilities, upgrading transport infrastructure in towns and mountain areas, and serving as a symbol for diversity and empowerment. Milano Cortina 2026 will be the first time the Olympic and Paralympic Games have been awarded to more than one city and will be held across several different regions and provinces. It's a unique opportunity for Italy to demonstrate to the world how different cultures can be united by sports. Unlike past games, athletes will stay in 8 different villages and clusters. In each there will be a truce wall where they will be able to leave their signatures as a symbol of their commitment to peace. For me, this all underlines the core message of Milano Cortina 2026. Armonia, harmony. It's a message and principle which has deep roots in Italian culture and history. Renaissance artists, writers, and philosophers like Michelangelo, Leonardo, and Lorenzo de' Medici promoted universal themes of beauty, reason, and harmony. By encouraging culture and dialogue over dogma, they laid the foundations for modern diplomacy and changed the perspective and put human beings and their dignity and respect first. These principles sit at the heart of this great institution and echo the cherished Olympic commitment to universality. Madam President, dear representatives of Member States, I wish to reiterate the message of non-violence according to the ancient Greek tradition of the Olympic Truce. I would like to thank all the delegations that have expressed their support and co-sponsored this draft resolution in close cooperation with the International Olympic Committee. And I humbly urge all members and delegates to support this resolution and to set aside differences and divisions and come together in harmony in Milano Cortina next year. Thank you for your attention.
I thank the distinguished representative of Italy and all the best for the preparations.